right, good afternoon, 8th grade. We are going to start with a warm-up, and we're going to continue our review of Unit 7. It's close to test time, and I will give you details about that too, and talk about the log that I shared with you guys in case you have any questions. Hi, Ivan. Thank you for joining. We're going to start with the warm-up. I need you to solve for x, please. That is a half times quantity x plus 4 minus 6 equals negative 2x plus 8. Hello, Brian. Thank you for joining. Start with the warm-up, guys. I need you to practice that. Try it out. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Dagny. Hello, Thais. Welcome. All right, I'm going to copy it down on the big board. And while you're copying it down and trying to solve it, I just want to do a quick check-in with you guys and see how you're doing with the new schedule. Want to make sure everything is okay and everyone is doing all right out there. Okay, I'll take attendance. And I'd like someone to tell me, since you guys were so punctual, thank you, I appreciate that, what a first step could be here. You have options, but what would you do? That's what I would like to know. What would you do? Oh my goodness, it's Ray. Thank you, Ray. So we got Ivan, Brian, Jacqueline, Dagny, Thais. Hello, Kevin. Dagny, Thais, Ray, and Kevin. Kevin, if I forget after the warm-up to talk about Edulastic, I need to talk about Edulastic because you didn't do well, and I don't understand that because we went over it in the video. Everybody should have 100%, and it should not be submitted without my approval. So after the warm-up, I'm going to talk about a few things. We have to do the review, but let's talk about that too, okay? All right, let me know if I missed anybody. I have for attendance Ivan, Brian, Jacqueline, Dagny, Thais, Ray, Kevin. Am I missing anybody? Okay, what would you do first, please? Talk to me. Personally, I would multiply by 2 to everything so that I don't have to mess around with that half right there. That's personally, that's what I would do. And if you do that, that means that you have to multiply by 2 to this one, to this one, this one, and this one. What do I mean every time I said this one, this one, this one, this one, this one? What am I talking about? I'm talking about terms. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. I'm looking at 4 terms here. And if you're going to multiply the equation by anything, you have to do it by every single term. Otherwise, you've changed the equation, and it's a completely different one that you're solving. All right, so what is 2 times a half? If I have 2 halves, I have a whole. So that cancels out right away, and I'm just left with x plus 4. What is 2 times a negative 6? Why 2 though? Because I want to get rid of the fraction, and 2 multiplying by 2 is the only way I get rid of that fraction. 2 halves are a whole, so that becomes 1, and then 1 times this is just this. I like the question though, thank you. 2 times a negative 6 is a negative 12. 2 times a negative 2 is a negative 4, and 2 times 8 is 16. If you guys have any questions on what I just did, let me know. Hello, Harmony. Thank you for joining us. Excellent. Kevin, I have to write your name down. Oh, no, I had your name down. I'm a bozo. Okay, Harmony. So I have Ivan, Brian, Jacqueline, Dagny, Thais, Ray, Kevin, and Harmony. If I'm missing anybody, you gotta tell me. Oh, that's not good, my dear Harmony, because you had specials today by your schedule. You guys have to follow the video conferencing schedule that I shared with you on Google Classroom. You guys have got to get back on a normal school schedule, please. This is your education we're talking about. Let's continue. Are there any terms that I can combine? Remember we said combine like terms. Which ones are the same around here that I can add together? These two look like I can add these two. Not over here though. So x is by itself. 4 minus 12 is a negative 8. Okay, now what? Dagny, oh, okay. I was going to say be more specific, but you said never mind. My grades are horrible. Okay, listen, this is really important. I don't want anybody to start panicking. I don't want anybody to start stressing out. You have time. You just have to do a little bit each day, and you really have to follow the schedule. The schedule will help you make time set aside for every class, and before you know it, you're going to be catching up because it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Okay? You have a lot of options here. Again, I'm just going to add 4 to both sides because, Dagny, when you said 4, you kind of put that in my head. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. 1 plus 4 is 5. I didn't do anything to that, so I have to keep that there. And then 16. Okay. Now, the only move at this point, let's talk about the like terms. I have variables here and numbers on the other side. So 5x equals, what's 16 and 8? It should be 24. And my last step is to divide by 5. And of course, this didn't come out nice, right? Because why would math come out nice? Good afternoon, Mr. Casamento. X equals 24 divided by 5. You can keep the answer like that unless the directions specifically tell you to put it in a mixed number. But at your level, I don't believe that they will be doing that. How do I get 5? Because 1 plus 4 is 5. I added 4 to both sides, 4x to both sides. There's nothing in front of this one, so it's 1x. 1 plus 4 is 5. Any other questions? Very good participation. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. You know, every time you type that, I hear you in class. Oh, all right. Okay. Then I want to talk to you about the document that I recently shared with you. And then we're going to go into the review because you guys still need to test for the book since we finished it. If I am successful, The test will be on Edulastic, and it will be broken up into parts so that you do not have to do all 7 problems at the same time. It should be broken up into 3 days, and we'll do a couple of questions a day, and it will close that same day. For people who miss it for whatever reason, I will work on that separately with that person. But for the regular stream, you know, I have to keep a certain pace. Now, Dagny, you say document. What document, right? I shared a document on Google Classroom with you guys so that you guys can edit it. And I'm really trusting you to be honest and to be independent and mature, right? To keep track. So today is day 8 for the stream. Now for day 8, because I have the whole class listed over here. So let's put Dagny down, because Dagny, you asked. And Ivan, you're here, and whatever, okay? Now, if you attend the stream, Miss Leggett has been putting a check there, because I know that you were in the stream, I took attendance. But let's say someone right now who's not in the stream. Who do I want to pick on right now? Scooby-Doo. I don't know. Scooby-Doo is, let's pretend he's registered in our class, because I don't want anybody giving me a hard time later. Why'd you call me out like that, miss? Gerald is actually scheduled for algebra, but thank you for offering your friend. Scooby-Doo is registered in 8th grade math, but he's not on the stream. So Miss Leggett leaves it blank. This means that when Scooby-Doo goes back and he watches day 8, right, because he's making up his attendance, making up his work, then he says, okay, I'm Scooby-Doo, and I watched this video on April 1st. And then he's like, haha, happy Fool's Day. No, I didn't. No, not really. He didn't do that. Because he is a mature, independent student like you guys, and he's telling Miss Leggett the truth. I'm telling you with my initials that I certify that I watched this video and I was paying attention and I made up my work. Does that make sense? I love how you guys are just offering your friends up. Hopefully that makes sense, and anybody who watches the video now understands what I'm asking you to do. There are a lot of views on the videos, but I don't know who's viewing them, and I'm trusting you, and this is basically attendance. It's you showing up to class, and when you do your work, it's also showing up to class, and we can give you credit for that. Otherwise, you are going to be marked absent, and that's no good. No, 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 no. Okay, that's that. Isn't Miss Leggett awesome? Just kidding. Don't answer that. I can just imagine all the crazy things you're going to tell me. It's 2:46 is this last period. Yes, this is last period. We will stop at 3:15. That way I don't take you past your school day. Aren't I nice too? See? Okay. Anyway, I know Harmony's probably rolling her eyes like now. On the test review. Let's go to our test review that I shared with you. Where did we leave off? This is unit 7. I'm pretty sure. Let's check page 49. I think we did that. Page 49. We definitely did page 49. How about 85? Page 85 we did too. Wow, we did a lot. Are we only on one more, actually? 63? I feel like we only have like one more to do. Yeah, we did page 63 also. So I think we're actually on the last one. That's pretty cool. Page 91. Okay. I am on page 91 on your test review. It's problem number 1. This is a lesson 12 practice problem. According to this on the test, it's going to match with the last question. Now, do you guys remember what I said about questions 6 and question 7. I don't even know if I went over this with you guys. Best teacher, no cap. What does that mean, no cap? Come at me. That I understand. Nah, okay. Lesson 12 practice. Okay, it looks like this. I wanted to show you. It's kind of blurry, but lesson 12 practice problem number 1. If you don't have your book, I was so nice and thoughtful. I put pictures of these problems up in the post for you. You can prove to me that you are doing the review by showing me pictures of your work or by using the pictures I posted to open up an app. Okay, which is larger? The number of meters across the Milky Way. Number of meters across the Milky Way. That's basically like the Milky Way's distance, if you could measure it. So I'll just put down distance. And they're measuring it in meters. So which is larger, this one or the number of cells in all humans? So not just the number, like the number of cells inside one human is just like probably ridiculously high because all your organs are made of cells. Your skin is an organ and it's made of cells. It's like crazy. So, but they're saying not just one human, but all humans combined, I guess. They had to make it complicated, right? That's okay. We'll be all right. So, or number of cells in all humans. Okay, I want to tackle this one first. Because if you take a look at the bullet marks, distance equals coronavirus. Why? Because we're doing social distancing. If you take a look at the bullet marks is giving you the information that you need in order to answer the question. Okay, now I'm going to bring your attention to the fact that in only one human, there are about, okay, this is an estimate, there are about 37 trillion cells. But that's only one human. We need all humans, right? So that means that whatever as many humans are on the planet, we have to multiply it by this number. And they're telling us that the world population is about 7 billion. So there are about, oh, that's a terrible squiggly. There are about 7 billion humans. We have to take this number and multiply it by that number. So will you please, right now, put these two numbers in scientific notation? I'm going to give you a minute because I need you to try that. I need you to put these two numbers, 37 trillion and 7 billion. I need you to put those in scientific notation because we are going to multiply them. All right? Let's see what anybody got any ideas? Crickets again. Okay. Okay. Before we put those into scientific notation, let's look at what one would look like. So how about 1 billion? What would that look like? Well, this is 1,000. This is 1,000,000, which means that's 1 billion. 1,000, million, billion, which means for trillion, trillion would be one more over, right? You guys could see that, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, look, he got it. Good job. Now, how about trillion? You have to go one over more, right? So another set of 3 zeros. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Now we can put it into scientific notation. Okay, hi, Jorge. How are you? I'll write your name down. We're going over page 91, number 1. It's a lesson 12 practice problem. It happens to be the last problem on the test review. Okay, Brian, good. That's 1 billion. Okay, so Ivan is trying to help us out here. He said this number is actually 37 with 4 sets of zeros. 37 with 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of zeros, and that matches with what we came up with here just now. Good job. How about this one? This one, I just have to change the 1 to a 7, right? Okay, now that we know what 37 trillion and 7 billion look like, put them in scientific notation for me, please. All right, you guys should get 3.7 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is that what you guys got? And then 7 times 10 to the yes? Okay, cool. Okay, now I told you we have to multiply these together, and the reason why we're multiplying these together is because we need the total number of cells basically in all humans collectively, not just for one human. So we have to take, for this one, we have to take 3.7 and multiply it by 3.7 times 10 to the 13, and we have to multiply it by 7 times 10 to the 9th power. So what's 3.7 times 7? I got 25.9. These bases are the same. What's 13 plus 9? I think that's 22. Okay, cool. You got 25.9 too. Thank you. Okay, now we know what the total number of cells are. Let's take a look at what they gave us about the Milky Way. What did they say to us? Is there anything we have to calculate? Okay, there's nothing that we have to, oh, yeah, it looks like we do have to multiply again, because if you take a look at it, they say that the Milky Way is 100,000 light years across, and then they tell you how many light years, what the distance of each light year is. Isn't that crazy? So that's okay though. We just practice it over here, so we'll be okay. If the Milky Way is 100,000 light years across, and each light year, what is this number? 1 times 10 to the what? Fifth? And then we're going to have to multiply it by how the light years are 10 to the 16 meters. So 1 times 10 to the 16th power. Okay, let's multiply that. That's not bad at all, actually, because 1 times 1 is 1. So really, you just have to add the exponents. That one's not that bad. 16 and 5 is actually 21. Now, don't jump to any conclusions just yet, because hopefully you notice that this one is in scientific notation, but this one is not. So if we put this one in scientific notation, 2.59 times 10 to the, it has to go one more extra to the right to get here. So this is actually times 23. If you take a look at this number and you compare it to this number, which number is greater? That's crazy right there. You guys are kind of quiet right now, so I hope you're still with me. If you compare this number and this number is way larger, right? So what's your answer? I mean, we're talking about the Milky Way. The Milky Way is a galaxy in outer space, and it holds so much, right? All our planets, and they're trying to say that the distance across the Milky Way is smaller than if you take all the cells in a human body for all the humans that are on the planet and you count them up. That's pretty crazy right there. But what about the decimal? Like, isn't whole numbers bigger than decimals? You are correct that a whole number is bigger than a decimal. However, this decimal is a combination of whole numbers and a part. So if I wrote that as a fraction, this is 2 and 59 hundredths. So it's a whole number plus a part. I hope that's what you meant. I hope that answers your question. And it's also why I made sure that they were both in scientific notation, because that means I can compare them. And since this has the larger exponent, I know that it's more. Okay, cool. I guess you could also kind of think of it like this, right? You don't want them to trick you. $1, I could write $1. I can write $1 as a whole number, like that. But I could also write it with cents. I could say that it's 100 cents, right? It's really the same thing, but a different format. So don't get caught up on decimals versus whole numbers. Do you guys have a question about that one? And if you weren't at yesterday's stream, hopefully you watched yesterday's video, because that means that most of the review is on yesterday's video. Okay, no questions. Okay, cool. If you missed the stream yesterday, you have to watch yesterday's video because it has the rest of the review, and you need the review. Know your power rules. Okay, we could review that really quick. And then I'll take any other questions, and then I'll let you go. All right? I'm gonna erase this now. I'll erase over here. So for your power rules, I'm not gonna erase it. I'll leave that. And you can always like watch the video and pause it and then copy it down. I'll just write right here. So it says to know your power rules. So, and we only have a few of them. And I want you to remember that even if you forget your power rules, that you can still expand it and figure it out. So you're not going to be lost. But it helps to know them because then you're faster at what you're doing. So first power rule that I think we learned was when you multiply bases that are the same. So if I have the same base of 2, but I have an exponent here like that, and an exponent here like that, what am I supposed to do with the exponents? I keep the base the same, but I add the exponents. 2 plus 3 is 5. I think the next one that we did in class was when you divided the bases. So let's pretend this time I have a base of 10 and my power is 6, but I'm going to divide by 10 to the second power. My base stays the same. And what do I do with Texas? What's that? Is that something slick? What do? You subtract the exponents. So what is 6 minus 2? It's 4. I think the next one that we did was, okay, I'll ignore him. It's just like class. Okay. I think the next one we did was negative exponents, right? So if I have 4 to the negative 2 power, and I want to evaluate that, right? This is actually the same thing as the reciprocal of the base with a positive exponent. These two are equivalent expressions. And now I can actually, no problem. Now I can actually evaluate it. Okay, if they said to evaluate, they're not always going to say evaluate. They might say make it so that there's only positive exponents. Then that's all you have to do. Okay, we'll put that, because this is extra. Another one that we did that you should be familiar with it and comfortable with it, but I don't think you're going to fail if you don't remember it, is power to power. So what if I had here, I need a little bit more space, so I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to put power rules up here. Draw a little line there. Okay. What if I had a power to a power? Power to power, you multiply the exponents. So 3 times 2 is 6, so this would be 2 to the 6th power. And there's one more that I want to go over that was in the lesson from the units that we practiced. All of these, the bases are the same, but there was a lesson later on And you guys were even clever enough to ask, well, what if the bases are not the same? What if it's the exponents that are the same? So let's see what happens. If I had 3 to the second power and I had 3 to the third power. Oh, I said, wait, no. I just mixed it up. Sorry. This time the bases have to be different. But the exponents are going to be the same. 3 squared times 2 squared. Because my exponents are the same, you could just multiply your base and keep the exponent the same. So that's a review of the power rules. You are allowed to put these on a piece of paper or an index card, anything that you have near you, and use that when I assign the test. And like I said, it's going to be given in parts so that you're not overwhelmed with the whole thing. It'll be 2 questions a day over 3 days, and it'll be on Edulastic, and it will close. I will have it open during the stream, and then I will close it when the stream is done. I think. If something changes, I'll let you know. Okay, do you guys have any last questions for the review? Any questions on the document I shared with you? Any questions on your schedule? Any questions in general? If you don't have any questions, I'm going to end the stream now. Kevin, oh, Kevin, see? Remember, I told you to remind me. You're sitting here falling asleep, but let me open up your Edulastic real quick before I end. Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. Oh, okay. So it's not, okay, it's still open for you, but you have to finish it because I put the grades in already. Like, we're way past this. So, Kevin, number 2, number 20, and number 21 are incorrect. I need you to fix them and finish it. Brian, are you still with me? You are not sick, young man. Get to work. Yes, Ivan, go take your nap. He said, oops. It's okay. I'm going to put the grade in, but you have to do it. And if you missed anything, look at Thursdays and Fridays video because I did Edulastic problems, right? You were with me a little bit. I'm not here, but he's typing it. So good. Brian, I have to reassign the Edulastic to you because you submitted it whether by accident or on purpose without checking in with me. And the fact that a lot of those are wrong tells me you're not watching the videos. You have to go back and watch the videos. So I'm going to reassign it to you so that you can change that grade. Like I said, I'm the best teacher. What can I say? I don't know. I'm just... All right. I'm going to reassign it, and then I'm going to end the stream, okay? You guys have a great rest of the day. Stay out of trouble, and get these assignments done and keep to that schedule, please. No more sleeping during school hours. Who else do I have to actually assign it to? Lewis, I'll open it back up for you if you look at this video. Ray, you got to get to work, man. It's not enough done. Okay, bye guys.